Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Between Realities. My name is Alex VR. I am joined here by my co-host Skiva. Skiva,
I'm
how the
pretty
hell
good,
are you, my
man.
friend?
I'm pretty good. Just been chilling at home, playing VR, hanging with the family. It's actually been pretty nice.
Yeah, I feel like that's the story. That's the story
Yeah.
everybody's got right now. We're all chilling. We're all taking the opportunity to spend time with our loved
Mm-hmm.
ones if we can, and play
Yeah.
some VR. It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna really try hard to start ripping through a bunch of titles and get through as many different games as I can while we have
Yeah.
the downtime.
Yes, and I've played. I've tried to take advantage of the time that we've had, and it's been pretty awesome. But I'm really excited to get to our guest today.
Yep, me too. Episode 9 of Between Realities. We have waiting in the wings with us a very popular VR tech YouTuber. This is a guy who specializes in the hardware side of virtual reality and someone who I definitely consider a friend after meeting him at OC6 last year. Please welcome to Between Realities, Mr. Tyriel Wood.
Hey,
Hey,
everyone.
hey, welcome.
So let me resize Tyriel
Thank
here
you
a
so
little
much
bit
for being
because
on the show.
you got a little crazy.
Awesome.
But yeah, how you doing, man? What's new?
Good. New is like quarantine is something new, I guess, for everyone. It's pretty good. I mean, we have more time for VR, so we can escape in our own way.
Yeah.
And yeah, awesome. It's great to be here with you guys. I'm
Dude.
super big, I can see.
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
fixing that right now. I'm fixing that right now.
We knew
Yeah.
we knew this would happen. We knew this would
Dang
happen.
Skype, man. Skype's a
But
pita.
dude, seriously, this is super awesome, man. Like, really stoked to have you on the show. Like, I had so much fun hanging out with you in San Jose at OC6. Like, I went there and I was like, I had just started my channel. Okay, like I knew nobody. Like, literally, I knew zero people walking into this fucking convention of just like tons and tons of VR people, VR YouTubers, developers, fucking John Carmack's walking around on the floor in there. Like it was insane. And the VR YouTubers there were just like one big happy family, and they all like welcomed me in. And Tyriel especially was a super awesome dude, man. Like, thank you so much for chilling with me while we were there. And you were like my safe space, like when I didn't know anybody, I could like go over to you and like everything was okay.
Yeah, man, it was awesome to meet you, really. Like we clicked. So
You and Thrill Seeker, man. You and Thrill Seeker were like my fucking homies at OC6, dude. It was really cool.
I'm just a little sad because while I was trying to eat you, because I was gigantic, I was trying to eat you like Pac-Man. He actually fixed me and he put me in the TV.
Dude, no, that's not gonna fly here. Okay, yeah. But we were actually just talking before we went live here about just like the state of the conventions coming up, and it's like as soon as I left OC6, I was like, okay, OC7, can't wait, here we go, like already ready to come back. And now like the idea that those conventions, I mean, already so many conventions have already been canceled. I mean, what haven't like a shitload of your plans have gotten canceled, haven't they, Ty?
Many. Yeah, because I was supposed to go to Mobile World Congress in Barcelona for like they were going to present something for probably Windows Mixed Reality and mostly HoloLens. If you're interested in AR, and that got canceled. The first one got canceled. Then for some reason they did PAX here in Boston, but I didn't go because I didn't feel like it was a good idea, to be honest. And then E3 got canceled. GDC got canceled.
Wow, and you're planning on going to
yeah.
all of those?
Yeah, as much as possible. I love those stuff because like you meet people the way I met you, for example, and it's awesome. Then like you get first experience on stuff, and then they explain you everything. You can ask like every single detail. When most of the time you discover on the internet, I like to go very deep in stuff. So like every time I do like weird questions people so to get really deep in the topics, and when you're there you can, and it's super awesome. Like you can focus really on what you're doing, and then it's like a recharge your battery in a way, because it's like those experiences are awesome. Like if you've never been to one, like you need to go.
Seriously.
it's like gamers everywhere, people that are passionate about the same thing you are. It is just the best.
And at OC6, it was actually kind of interesting because there was like some like major things being announced and a lot of like big hype stuff, but like low key, the rumble on the floor at OC6 was Pistol Whip, and that was being demoed by Cloudhead Games just like in the hallways. Like we were all just like huddling around them, and they're just like swapping battery packs out on their Quest, and it was like super informal, you know. But like that's the kind of stuff that you see happening just like everywhere. People are just passing headsets around and like demoing stuff left and right and talking, and it really is just amazing. It's like being immersed in all of the stuff that you love for multiple days in a row. It's fucking great.
For me, actually, was I didn't have the opportunity to play Pistol Whipped when I was there, but my main focus was like Medal of Honor, and I was like, I need to play that.
I need to play that. How was it good?
I played for like around an hour, and like people are looking at me like, tell me what it is. And it was awesome.
Wow, you played for about an hour? Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah, did all the levels and stuff. Like, I can't wait for that game. But
have they said anything? Skiva, are you looking forward to this game coming out?
I am stoked for this game for sure. I've always liked the Medal of Honor series. I played that series before I played any of the Call of Duty stuff, you know. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Although, you know, with a little hesitation, because, you know, I know they were talking about almost like keeping the realism down, keeping the gore down, keeping stuff, you know, which I get, you know, I get how, you know, I guess they don't want to be blowing brains out everywhere, but I just hope they don't, you know, take it to too much of a kid level, I guess, you know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't. I can tell you that even if the graphics weren't like a realism for it to like, it really worked. Like, that's cool. It was super cool. I was completely immersed. I forgot that I was in a convention, to be honest.
When's the last time somebody mentioned something about Medal of Honor? Like, have we heard anything since OC6 about that game?
I think the last time I heard something is when I made a video about it.
Last time I heard something is when I told myself about something about it.
Sometimes I repeat that to myself, so I can still believe that it's gonna arrive. I don't know. Hopefully we're gonna hear like a date like soon at OC7. If that happens, it's like probably it's gonna be an online event. But if that happens, like probably it's gonna hear there.
Yeah, well, I hope everything just like happens, you know, we just fucking get out of this bullshit time that we're in and like get back into hanging out, because we need to be able to hang out. Like virtual is awesome, this is awesome, but like meeting up
I want to
is
go to
where
some
it's
expos. I want to go to some more expos, and I hope all of this crap clears up so we can all get back to our normal business, you know.
Let's do our part.
So what's normal business as far as this podcast?
Well, I guess
while
we're talking about this virus, let's just jump right into there's this game that is going to be coming out for free called Virus Popper, and it's a game where you get to kill germs. It's kind of interesting, right? It's almost like a way to teach kids, you know, how to.
We went from Germans to germs.
I figure we get all the virus stuff out of the way first, you know.
So the developer of this, if I'm not mistaken, is the guy who made Star Blazer, right? Yep. So those guys are super cool, and they're like active on Twitter and stuff all the time, and we're at OC6 and got to meet those guys and stuff. And you know, the first thing I think of when I see this Virus Popper, like aesthetically and kind of the way I think it might land for a lot of people is like the Chex like Doom that you got in the cereal box like way back in the day. Do you know what I'm talking about? That like Chex Mix fucking computer game. And with like the green splashes and stuff like that. Like I have this like weird memory of being a kid and like playing that game, it's just like that free game, the cereal box game or whatever. Like this reminds me of the cereal box game. And I bet you that there will be some kids who played this now during this time because like their dad was into VR or whatever. He's like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to teach you how to be safe during the pandemic using VR, and puts him in the game. And he's going to have these like weird, obscure memories of this like game about washing your hands and, not getting sick. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can't help but feel like it's just like a source of nostalgia for somebody in the future.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we got some codes, some early access codes that we'll be dumping into chat throughout this. It's going to be free when it does come out, but if you're just itching to kill some viruses now, you're just mad at COVID and you want to scrub some down, then maybe you can hop into VR and whack some viruses.
Well, and it probably teaches you like the whole like 5 seconds or 20 seconds to wash your hands or whatever, all that bullshit. So, yeah, I can. It's probably informative and like I said, it's probably good for kids. I bet you kids
if you were supposed to get kids into VR, younger kids, maybe like my daughter's age, like 5 years old, this would actually be really good. She'd love this. You know what I mean? And she does hop in, for 5 to 10 minutes at a time. But I think this would be a game that little kids would really, really enjoy. So it's like Beat Saber with viruses and no music, really. Anyway,
and not as good.
That didn't sound right.
All right, it's like Beat Saber with kids and viruses.
Well, all right. So enough with the virus talk, right? So, how have you guys still been playing Half-Life? What's the deal with Half-Life? Because I can't stop playing this game. It's the best thing I think I've ever experienced in my life. Legit. How about you?
I guess I'll start and say that I started playing on hard mode and carrying the gnome. I've only done like one session, and I got through like a couple of chapters, but I beat the game, of course, and now I'm playing on hard, and I'm carrying the gnome with me to get the achievement, and I'm looking out for other achievements, but there's already at least one that I know that I missed, and I'm gonna have to at least go back to that chapter to get it.
That game, I've been looking for reasons to play, and I went through the gnome challenge too, and I carried the gnome all the way from the beginning of the game all the way to the end, and completed my 100% on the Half-Life Alyx achievements. So woo!
Hell yeah!
But I legit almost cried when I did that, because I'm like, well, no, there's no more reason to go back into Half-Life. Like, there's no more goal to work towards. So,
are you gonna carry the gnome, Ty? Are you gonna go for 100% achievements or what?
I don't know. I'm not an achievement hunter, so but maybe I'll do it for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends, because like I found some bugs during the game, so I had actually to load sometimes, like to go back, because I lost stuff in the like physics under the thing. So I was a little scared to go with that thing around for all game. But I wanna, I played it. Of course, I finished it. I really want to finish as fast as possible to have no spoilers and stuff. And it's an awesome game. I really recommend it to everybody, but not in VR, because we already have mods out there to make it not VR. No, it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah. I want to play it on hard though, because for me normal was a little too easy. Also, when you get I don't think it's a spoiler. When you get the laser sight, it gets very, very, very easy, too easy.
Yeah.
So
it's so much easier to hit stuff.
Exactly. Next time I'm gonna do it on hard and without. So I hope it's gonna be even more and more immersive. But yeah, I can't stop playing. Every time you wanna go back in, to try something different and stuff. They did a great job, an amazing job.
And I don't want to stop playing Half-Life Alyx either. And the thing that really, really excites me is that you said, kind of to what you just said there, where people are already modding it. It's I've already seen 3 or 4 different working mods, and they weren't in VR yet, but I feel like that's the intention. I don't think they were making those mods to keep them flat screen. Like I saw a fucking Source 2 video this morning or yesterday with multiplayer, with avatars.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
you
saw
could
it
look at
too.
each other. Dude, hell yeah. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to stop playing Half-Life Alex if people start doing shit like this. Because if all of a sudden they create like a I don't know, a cooperative wave shooter where like head crabs are just like pouring out of the walls and you're back to back with your homie just blasting them and like reloading your weapons, like that's what's up. Like that will be giving us the experience of playing Half-Life Alex because of all of the physics and all of the graphics and the shaders and like all that shit's there, you know. So I'm like so excited about the world of the mods opening up, and I really hope that we see something soon because I want to keep playing it, and
Well,
that would give us a reason to do it.
It's crazy though that we have mods right now that they didn't release yet the SDK, because like when they're gonna release it, then everything's gonna go nuts, because like now they're making mods like out of nothing and they're already making something. When they're gonna have the SDK, there we're gonna start to see like crazy stuff. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Half-Life 2 in VR made on Source 2, like with the same like textures and stuff like of Alex. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Half-Life 1 as well. Like I really can't wait to have all of that. And the multiplayer, I was the happiest person alive today when I saw that tweet about multiplayer, because like in VR, cooperative is like something that you need to have. Is like adds so much more to the game. Co-op is like something that VR needs, and just the fact like I don't know if you ever played it, but with Skyrim VR, with the mod Together VR that you can play Together Skyrim, it's called. Like you can play Skyrim in together. It's super glitchy, but it kind of works also in VR, but it's very, very glitchy. And but yeah, same thing here. Like when you play together, even if it's single player, it's like just so much better.
We tried Half-Life 2 multiplayer.
What can you do? Can you actually do that with Sky? Yeah, we did try it. Didn't go well. Does it? I mean, were you able to play Skyrim multiplayer?
No, I didn't. I saw videos about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and Alex hopped into a Half-Life 2 session together, multiplayer, and yeah, it was very glitchy. We used Gary's mod, and you know, it was really cool that we were able to do it. You know, that part's really cool. But there was couldn't. I think you did a video on it actually, on how to get past different parts.
Yeah, how to do it. Like Gaede,
so you know, you get certain parts, you have to like switch back to flat, right, to like kind of get past them, and it's kind of.
I can tell you though that lately, like when I made a video, there were still some parts that are a little clunky. Now it's like you can do the entire game without any problem. They fixed so much stuff. I actually finished Half-Life 2 before Alex, just on VR completely. Like I didn't switch once to flat screen, and that was awesome. And it's crazy if you think about it. It's crazy how awesome is that game in VR, even if it's like 15 years old and it wasn't made for VR. It kind of seems like it was made for VR. You can grab everything. You can interact with stuff. When you have like the gravity gun, is like perfection in VR.
Wow.
It's amazing. But talking about gravity gun, like what an amazing job they did with the gravity gloves. I don't know you guys, but at the beginning I felt like it wasn't the best way. I was like, I'm gonna get tired of this. I can't stop. Like kind of that game. The game for me is just grabbing stuff. I want to grab stuff every second. It's like
I so often like pull stuff towards me and then slap it out of the air. Like I don't catch it. You know, it's like pull it, like just like manipulating everything and just like throwing stuff all over the place. I feel you entirely.
What an awesome mechanics. Like I feel like many more games are gonna use it now, because like if you think like I don't know if you tried it, but then I went back to Boneworks that has a similar mechanics, but when you just like a click, like trigger and a grip at the same time, so you can pull stuff. When I played it, it felt super good. Now it feels like empty. I want the interaction that you had in Alex. For me, one of the best mechanics we had.
So let me ask this, because I'm basically, like you said, I'm pretty much assuming that Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 are going to be playable in VR on Source 2.0 at some point. So like should I play Half-Life 2 in VR using Gary's mod, or should I just like chill and wait, because I still haven't like actually played those games. So I feel like I should just wait for Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 to be available for Source 2.0.
Well, you found a very good question, actually. I don't know if I'm like worthy enough to answer you.
Yeah, right. Fair enough.
I had a great experience with Gmods, like awesome experience. You can also play like in co-op, and I feel like it's not about the graphics anyway, the game. So I feel it's worth if you want to play something that is like that lore. I think like you don't
Just
have
do it.
Yeah, just do it. And when it's gonna come out, because it's gonna take some time. Like if you need to make a game completely out of like just an SDK, we don't still have the SDK, so maybe it's gonna be in a year and a half now. So
once
I will do it.
Once they release that
yeah.
SDK, man, we're gonna see so much stuff. I mean, dude, you know, like, you know, there's a lot of good games that came out of modding Half-Life 2. And I think I'm really looking forward to the day that starts happening in VR too, you know?
Right. Well, and I played those. I didn't play Half-Life 2, but I played the games that were modded.
That's wild.
You know, so like that speaks to that community, you know?
Also, if you play it, I really suggest you to play it, because like then like Alex is gonna make much more sense.
Right.
Like if now is like epic, like if you consider it epic right now, if you play the other games and then you go back to it, it's gonna be like mind blowing.
Wow. Terry Lodge in the chat, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you. And Rendered Reality, we're huge fans. If you've never seen Rendered Reality's podcast, you definitely need to. They are super awesome. They do every Saturday morning, right? That's their time.
Every Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, I think.
My favorite part of my weekend.
Nice. James M, the VR Mang. VR Mang, thanks for dropping in, brother. We appreciate you. And we also have Paint Pros Colorado. First time that I've seen you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Absolutely.
So there's some other cool stuff coming out here. Do you guys mind if we switch off of Half-Life? I could talk about Half-Life forever.
I'm ready.
So there's a cool
I don't want to stop.
There's a cool game on the Quest called the Crisis for Gaede. I don't know if you guys have played this, but it's pretty awesome. It puts you know, up against you're a SWAT member, and you're trying to like stop, you know, the bad guys, right? Just like almost anything else. But it had this like almost like a Minecraft kind of look, but really bright colors, and it was really cool. And but they have now released the trailer for Crisis for Gaede 2, and I wasn't expecting this, because it looks so realistic now. Like they went from this mode of this almost blocky Minecrafty you know, style to this, and wow, it just looks so good. It looks really, really good, and I'm really excited to play this. What do you guys think about Crisis for Gaede? Do you think Crisis for Gaede 2, if they can get it to run on a Quest, that Oculus will even approve it?
Man, I hope so. The first one is pretty fun, and it's free, so it's pretty fun 2 times. The second one looks awesome. And if they use the same like a thing, like you have to duck, because in that game you have to move a lot with your own body, and there's something that not many games use as a mechanics. So it's pretty cool. I can't wait for it, and I hope that this time Oculus is going to do the right thing, because it just doesn't make sense that they didn't accept the first one. Let's be honest.
And it's co-op too, right?
Yes, now it's
it is now, and it wasn't originally, but they did just add that in. So it's really exciting, because, you know, as we talked about, co-op makes everything better, whatever, when you can play with your friends. But yeah, I was really shocked by this game. I mean, you know, I saw this trailer and I was like, wow, this isn't what I was expecting at all. So hopefully, you know, because they tried 2 different times to get the first one onto the Oculus store, and they told them no. So I don't know. Hopefully,
I mean, there's a lot of debate. Every game gets the quest or not. I kind of like, I'm okay with the fact that they trying to keep a good level, because like the quest is very consumer, like headset. Like it should be just that. Like, are people that don't even know what VR is, are
Yeah.
people that are not watching my channel for sure. Mostly because like, but this game is very polished, so I don't know why they never accepted. Like, that's the only thing that I don't understand, because usually like a game like this, I saw worse game than this in the Oculus Quest, on the store. I don't want to give names, of course, but like some games are like, what the heck is this? And like, and then you play these from side quest and you're like, oh wow.
Yeah,
like,
you know, it's so weird because you know, I think sometimes I think I know what they're doing, and then I see a game on the store that doesn't make sense to the logic that I came up with, like To the Top, for example. Still, you know, you just got beat out, I think, for my favorite VR game of all time by Half-Life Alyx. But I really love To the Top. I really love that game, and it got rejected on the Oculus Quest store. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it was because of motion sickness. You know, there's concerns about how you're moving and how fast you're going. But then I saw Radial G, and I played Radial G on the Oculus Quest. And if anything's going to give you motion sickness, that game's going to give you motion sickness. Yeah,
it's that game.
It's really fun. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but
you know, I feel you, Skeeva, and as somebody who is a VR enthusiast, of course, I can see that To the Top is a great game and deserves to be on there. But like, you know, as you know, recently I got my dad into Oculus and into having a Quest. He's super huge in it, never gamed in his life, and now he is a fucking like enthusiast. Like, he has introduced all of his friends to VR. And the other night when Oculus Quest became available for sale on the website again, I texted him. It was like midnight at his place, and I was like, yo, Oculus Quest is on sale, like, go. And he's like, boom, I just bought 4 of them for my friends. Like, so he has 5 friends who I guarantee none of them have ever been gamers in their life, who now they all have this little circle where they are all playing VR together and like talking about VR, which is amazing. Awesome. And my dad played Beat Saber, and then he fucking plays Vader Immortal, because Vader Immortal comes with the Quest. And then if To the Top was the next thing, like, it would be jarring to him. I guarantee it. The way that like the music, like, I don't know, like the scenes are switch hard, and like they're not, the fidelity's not there, you know, like I could see how that might turn somebody off coming from something that is highly curated, like Vader Immortal or Beat Saber or Moss or something else that comes off of the Oculus Quest store, you know? So I'm really not trying to say that To the Top isn't awesome, because it really is, but like I do understand the strict curation process that the Quest is doing, because when I think about my dad just buying random games off of the Quest, I guarantee if he bought To the Top, he would not play it to completion.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. But I mean, there's a lot of games on the Quest store that he wouldn't complete to completion. You know what I mean? So
that's true, and that's very true.
Right,
that's very true. Right, and that's very true.
I don't know. It's just a great game, and if you know anyone out there that has a Quest, go into SideQuest. This is a paid game on SideQuest, right? It goes through another website. What is it, like itch.io or something like that? I can't remember. But support these guys, man. Really, if you can, you know, throw down. I think it's like $15, and this is such a good game. It's such a good game, and I personally think it's the best game on the Quest, and it's not even on the Oculus Store. So
To the Top.
Yeah. So
wow.
Anyway, all right, we can get off that, because I just love that game. It's really so good. But speaking of games I love, though, Boneworks. Man, I love Boneworks, and they're coming out with an update, a new update that looks really good. It adds in 2 new. Is it 2 or 3? It might be 3 new sandbox levels. It adds in a new gun, and they've combed over the physics system. So I'm really excited about that, because I played this game immediately right off the bat. I played it 3 times through, like, and that's wow. A lot. I put like 30-something hours in it, like right off the bat, before there was any save check system, you know, that they put midway through the levels and all that. So I thought it was a great game, and I'm really excited for this new update. And these guys are really holding their end of the bargain, and they're answering the community, and they're putting in the things that, you know, that they need to and that they say that they would. So I'm glad for them. It's a great game. Yeah.
Nice.
How awesome job they did. Like, it's crazy, like, job they did, like, in such a small team. When you compare Boneworks to, like, the fact is, like, we are all comparing Boneworks to Half-Life. And we're talking about a team of, like, 5-6 people. I don't know how many are in the Boneworks team, but probably a little more. And we're comparing with like 200 people at Valve working on the biggest IP they have.
I think they got to 80.
And and it's crazy that we can actually compare those two games. And I feel like Boneworks comes out like a winner in different stuff as well. Like, it's not just like crashed by Alex. Like, you know, it doesn't have the same story. It doesn't have the same lore. But like, physics is there and works like kind of in the same way, or even better in some cases. So,
and I don't know if you noticed, you know, when I first played this game, I was like, wow, this is Half-Life with a different skin. You know, they had the head crabs, they had the zombie guys that kind of walked like the zombies with the head crabs on. You know, they had the same stickers on the ammo boxes. Like, this was like legit. And then I heard through some interviews that they were trying to get this to be a Half-Life game, but Valve was already working on it. So, yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a favor? Where did you get this trailer that is going on right now?
I got this. They just put it on. What's his name? Is it Brandon? I think it's Brandon. He just put it on his channel.
Okay.
I think.
But I don't know if I thought I saw a part of my video of the index. So like, I was like, what the hell? Not really.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know.
You're everywhere, Ty.
No.
I will be VR. You're in it.
I will be super excited.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm asking. I was like, what the heck? Was that my video of the index controllers? So like, possibly, I'm gonna check it out.
It's always fun to see people that we know and stuff on some of these videos, right? It's really cool.
I was in like a split second of an Eric for President video one time, and I like didn't see it coming. He like pulled some random B haptics footage from CES, and I was like in it real quick, and it was like Skiba like sent me the message. He's like, dude, check it out, man. We're like, oh, holy shit, there we go.
I mean, I'm here on the podcast, so it's the same pretty much.
Yeah, this is the same. Yeah. This is like a dream come true for me, man. Like, you don't realize we have a VR celebrity on our show right now.
No,
like,
I'm not.
It's too much. Like, I'm shaking underneath the chair.
Right. So, Alex, you haven't played through Boneworks yet, right? Nice.
No. So I need a little bit of help because I've gotten some perspective, but like I'm still having such a hard time. I've only very recently gotten a PC and a PC VR headset, and I'm just like diving into game after game. But Half-Life came out, so it took up so much of my time. But I haven't played Asgard's Wrath. I haven't played Stormland. I haven't played The Walking Dead, and I haven't played Boneworks. And I am like really having a hard time trying to decide where to go, because part of me does want to play Stormland, which I haven't even really mentioned to you yet, Skiba, because of the fucking fact that we can play co-op. We can go online and do stuff together. Like, that's so awesome. But then everyone says that Saints and Sinners is the shit, and I should probably be playing that. Game. So I think a lot of people are kind of wondering like where they should go after Half-Life Alyx. Like, what game do you play after playing that? You know, so like, help me out here, guys. Like, where do I go?
Throw some suggestions in the chat, because, you know, at one point, people were always going, you know, there's nothing to play in VR. I don't want to buy a VR headset and this PC, and there's nothing to play. And now it's like, oh my God, I don't know what to play first. There's so much good stuff.
I know.
There really is so much good stuff. But
I will like after Half-Life, I will do probably Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. Yeah. Because it's very, very similar in a way you interact with stuff.
It's true.
And then I would do Boneworks. But Boneworks is super awesome. Like, so I'm biased there. But yeah, I was probably say The Walking Dead first.
That seems to be the consensus. That is the most common answer that I've gotten in the past like week of reaching out that I've had, is people kind of have been like, Saints and Sinners.
But it's scary. I don't know if you like scary. I mean, it's not scary. It's like it like makes you anxious. Like the anxiety, the level of
Yeah.
anxiety you get with that game is like insane,
Way
and that's
higher
why,
than Alex.
Oh, I think so.
geez,
I think so.
30
Yeah.
times more.
Yeah.
I really I have to play like one level every 2 weeks because I have to calm down after. Like I'm not kidding. Like I'm terrified, and then I get back to it, and then terrified
It's like
again.
an anxiety
Like,
fest. It really is. Like you're sneaking
Yeah,
around in
yeah.
these deserted post-apocalyptic buildings and houses and high schools
Yeah.
and gyms and like just all this. And there's walkers around every corner and there's people that want to kill you.
And
Yeah.
you hear them. You hear them
And
every
sometimes,
time.
but sometimes you don't, and you open a door, or one just busts through and scares the bejesus out of you.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And rendered reality says, of course, that the melee physics in The Walking Dead are on point, you know, which is like the thing that was, I guess, lacking in Alex. So that might be satisfying after playing Alex to like actually be able to get up and just fucking like start, you know, going off on stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you can put like those three games on really one close to each other, and like if Boneworks is an extreme on like you can do probably too many things. So like if you are a VR veteran, you're gonna love it because you can do pretty much everything you can think about. Half-Life Alyx is a little less free in a way, like you're really like on rails many times, and
very linear.
Exactly. I love the game, but I wish I had some more. And The Walking Dead is like in the middle, in the perfection middle, when you see like probably Half-Life should be a little more like The Walking Dead to be easy on people, and but at the same time having like more interactivity, Boneworks style. I don't know. I feel like that they're really the three big examples of VR right now. And it's great. Like the job they did with the Walking Dead is amazing. I really love the game. I wish I could play it more, but I'm a freaking chicken. So
even after I complete that game all the way through, and there's nothing really left for me to do, I still go back in and I still just go out and just pillage because it's so cool. It's so fun, you know, and just the way you interact with the zombies and the way you have to, you know, sneak around and your stamina is only so much. You can't just run around whacking everybody, you know. You really have to be tactical, and it's really it's really awesome. I'm looking forward to you playing that game, Alex.
I really admire the way that you spend your time in games, Skiba. Like you really do immerse yourself. Like it's like not even about like the high score or like beating it. Like for you, it is just like you're like, oh, I just want to like go through the buildings, you know, or like you play No Man's Sky, you're just like cruising around, like no particular end in sight. You're just like, no, I'm in this world, you know, and like that's really the way to do it. It's like when you put that headset on, you stop being you for just a little while and start being whoever it is that character is.
Well, that's,
you know?
just it. And I feel like in that way, VR is like a drug. And I've mentioned this before, where people take drugs to escape their lives and to go somewhere else. And that's what VR is, right? You put on a VR headset, you go into The Walking Dead, you're not thinking about, oh, you know, my taxes done, you know, what's going on with work. You're like, no, man, I'm this guy and I'm trying to survive all these walkers, you know, like not eating my brains. It's all about being there. It's all about being present in a world. It's all about, you know, just bringing yourself into a place that you can't go in real life and you wouldn't want to go in real life. You know what I mean? But, you know, you get extra lives in VR, which is fantastic. So, but yeah, man, it's all about being immersed. So.
Norman Robinson in the chat has a question for us. He says, "What's your take on full hand tracking support within VR without the controller requirement?" I'll let Ty start with that.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it's a great question, by the way, Norman. I feel like you have a problem when you don't have a controller. You don't have any haptics from it. Like we're super used to haptics, like vibration and stuff. That even if it's a little wrong, it helps with immersion. In the moment when you try to grab something and you just have your hands, it just doesn't work that well as you think it will work. So like, because I was thinking exactly the same, then trying it, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. It's like there's something missing. but the feeling is for sure there always. The thing that I hate about VR right now is that we are still using buttons, and I'm the advocate number one of like no buttons are needed, because like, you know, it's immersion breaking. It's like press the A button and you have a freaking headset in front of your eyes. How the heck do I see the A button if I
Right.
don't know exactly which one it is? You know, like put me some buttons on my wrist or something, make me feel like a Minority Report, make me feel like a Mass Effect when they use the computer. I don't remember the name, but it was super awesome. But make me feel like in a video game, make me feel part of the world. Instead, no, press the A button, press the B button, press the Y button to open the inventory. Like, I don't want to. Make me grab something. Like, but you need the controller to have the feedback from the things that you do. I feel like they did a great job with the index controller, even if it's not perfect by any means, because like it doesn't work super well many times. But yeah, the solution is not no controller, but the solution is not even the controller that we have right now. I think that's my idea.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you ever tried the Bebop Sensors gloves?
the what?
The Bebop Sensors glove?
Bebop?
The Bebop Sensors, yeah.
No, I never tried that.
It's not a commercial thing. Obviously, a lot of like the cool, like cutting edge VR technology stuff that we get the chance to try isn't really a consumer product. But these guys have built a lightweight haptic feedback glove, hand tracking. So it's hand tracking. The demo that we used at where were we? Dreamland, did have like the Oculus controller kind of like, you know, docked in it or whatever
For
to track
tracker.
the wrist. But the fingers completely track in the glove, and it's like super super lightweight and is like for haptic response. So it's not like force feedback like the Dexmo gloves. It's like just haptics. So I'm wondering, like, if once that technology gets a little bit farther and maybe they can like throw Bluetooth into them, if we could just like put on like some gaming gloves, boom, and there we are. These things vibrate, you know, they shake when I pull a trigger or whatever, or push a button, and like maybe we can do that. Maybe we can get to the point where we can put on like you know, like a baseball glove, something like that, or like a golf glove.
Yeah, but at that point, like, you know, like you want anyway, like the trigger, you want a trigger. Like if you do like this, it's not satisfying in VR. Like I like having a trigger, you know, like you feel that I feel pretty lucky because owning pretty much all the headset, I try like pretty much everything. But like there's a difference between the trigger of the original Vive, the trigger on the Oculus, the trigger on the Windows Mixed Reality, on the Index and stuff. And some are more immersive just for the resistance of the trigger. So like we still need something like this. So I feel like a great here. I think we're going a little out of topic, but I feel like a great thing for VR is 3D printing, for example, because you can print whatever you want and you have the actual object in VR at that point. And we saw so many cool stuff coming by lately, like just a ping pong paddle. That's perfection. Like that feels like playing ping pong on a table tennis in VR.
This is such a good segue right now, dude. Skiba,
To go
are you
into,
with me on this?
the Pro
To
Tube?
this, into that,
for
to
sure.
that Pro Tube thing.
Yeah,
this is
for sure.
Perfect.
So
because I really did want to talk about this kind of thing. So, you know, first of all, Skiba, tell us what Pro Tube is.
So Pro Tube, in case anyone doesn't know, is a company that makes kind of like rifle stocks for VR, kind of, right? Just a bunch of tubing put together. I should have grabbed mine so I could show you, but where you put the controllers in, and then it makes kind of a gun. And in a game, it really feels like you're holding a gun because you look down and you see it. But they also have they're coming out with all these haptic feedback systems. Like they have they have one that hooks on to the Pro Tube and it kicks into your shoulder when you shoot. And now they came out with a pistol, which is really cool. So you can stick your Oculus controller in it, and you know, when you shoot, you feel the weight of the gun, you feel the kickback. So that's pretty immersive stuff. I feel like I'm gonna be picking one of these things up for sure.
How much is it?
They haven't said yet. It's on their website. It's still, it's just coming soon. They haven't announced any pricing or anything. I feel like it's probably going to be pretty pricey because I think the one that attaches to the rifle unit is pretty expensive. I think it's like $300 or $400, or maybe $300. Ooh,
I have
nice.
these. There's a similar thing.
Wow.
It's from Bezwin VR. It uses like a Vive tracker on top. That's the tape because I broke it, of course. Actually, Heather broke it, my fiance, and
throwing her up the bus.
She's probably watching, so thank you.
I know.
And but it's pretty cool. Now it's like out of battery. But the problem with this stuff that I noticed is like it's mechanical. You have a thing that goes like up and down, right? Moves to give you the recoil. The problem is like those things are never fast enough. I'm really curious to see if this one is fast enough, because when you play like pistol whipped, it's super cool to have actually a gun in your hands. It like brings so much more immersion. But then when the gun doesn't keep up with your pace, that's where it breaks the immersion. So all those things are super risky for some reason. Like you get to a great part on the way and a kind of downside on the other.
Yeah.
I hope they're gonna come out with a nice price, because if it's too much,
I have mixed feelings when it comes to all of these like peripheral like attachments and stuff like that. Like for me, like I don't personally feel like I like need to be holding like the shape of a gun if like the trigger and the handle is there. Especially if I like, like need to like adjust something on my shirt, like that's just like a whole bunch of extra material that like technically doesn't really need to be there because I'm in VR, like that doesn't have to be in the real world. I can cut that off and give myself the opportunity to get a little closer to my face while it's in my hands or something like that, I think one of the first things that I ever had sent, I think the first thing that I ever had sent to me after I started my channel was a aim stock for the aim controller for Firewall Zero Hour. So if you've ever used the aim controller, it's kind of like this like little kind of compact guy, and I can like put it in front of me, pull it close, pull it away like that. But there's a lot of people that wished it had like that nice comfortable stock to like lean it into your arm, and when I tried that thing, dude, that thing was in the way like crazy, man. Like I immediately was like, okay, I know why the aim controller was designed the way it was. It gives me the opportunity to move it closer to my face if I need to and things like that. Have you guys ever like noticed like these things just being so cumbersome that it's not even really worth attaching them to your controllers?
I feel like that stuff has its place, but it adds another layer of friction to the whole VR experience. Like, all right, I'm going to play this game real quick. I got to take off my headset. I got to go find the correct attachment to stick on my controller. So, in certain scenarios where, like you say you're playing Contractors or Onward or something, and, you get your gun stock out and you throw all that in there, and it makes a big difference in how it feels and how the game plays. But as far as other attachments, I don't know that I want to be doing that. For certain, if it was a game I really loved and it could heighten my immersion a little bit more, maybe. But and then the other thing is, where do you put all this crap to? So
Right.
we saw when the Wii came out, right? There was like plastic peripheral things for everything. What do you do? You go to someone's house, that shit's laying around everywhere. You're like,
Right, and they didn't
But
do
those
anything.
were awesome. No, those were awesome.
No, they weren't. I disagree.
Those were awesome. Man.
I disagree because it didn't help you at all.
That's not true. Like that helped a lot immersion. Like for me, like there's a little difference though. I feel like we're talking about the same thing at a different level, because like if the games taken like the aim controller works so well because games are made with that in mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, when you have the one from ProTube or like Mammoth VR stuff, all of those, the games are not made for them. So of course, like there's a little different level of perfection.
Right.
But like I love using the gun stock when I play like Contractor and stuff. I really love it. I usually go back to the Vive tracker, to the Vive controllers, just so I can use the my stock that I have with the magnets and stuff. So like I'm willing to go back on a older generation controllers to have that. So like, but yes, it's not perfect. Like sometimes just you can't find it, and like you have a person coming by, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna, where is my freaking gun, and like stuff like that. But because it's not made for that game, but I would love to see like pistol whipped with their official with their official gun, and you play with the same gun you have in the game, and that would be creating so much more more immersion. And with the Wii, yes, was funny because you had like so many pieces. I still have stuff here, plastic stuff everywhere. But it's the same. Like I'm printing pieces of like everything possible with my 3D printer to actually have the same thing I had with the with the with the Wii, like the racket to play ping pong. It's crazy, but it's insane how much the game is like 10 times better. And it's a piece of like plastic.
So going back to the controllerless thing for a minute, what I've always wondered is how do you get by locomotion, right? Because it would definitely kill immersion even more to have to like point where you're going or something like that, right? So I feel like, man, controllerless VR is going to be more of a thing with brain interfacing.
Right.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Someone like actually left a comment about it, and
Chat talked about brain interfacing the whole time we talked about peripherals, which is a beautiful thing because like that's the between reality spirit right there, like that is the next level.
I did see that Rendered
really
Reality was saying that they've been popped before by Ty, that he's a really good shot.
It's not that far off from, like, it's gonna arrive very soon, sooner than what we expect. And like 2 years ago, I don't know if you know the company CTRL Lab was working on a brain interface with just a wrist, and they could read like your brain to like so like imagine you can put it like for example on your legs, and you can walk without walking. And the fact is like that doesn't get the movement, but gets the the electricity that goes from your brain to your part of the body, and reads that. So even if you don't move your hand, is actually, if you want to move your hand is going to move in VR or stuff.
That's cool.
And you can check videos about it, and they're already there. And that is great for accessibility, because people that like unluckily they had problems, they can actually do stuff. Imagine like you don't have an hand because you lost your hand, and you can actually have your hand back in VR. That would be mind-blowing, for example. And that's amazing just to talk about it. And that's amazing to think that it is possible. And because we're talking about things being possible, CTRL Lab was acquired by Facebook last year. So that's gonna be in the, probably not in the next one, but in the one after. We are very, very close to brain interface. And going back to the fact you don't need buttons, I can jump just thinking about jumping. I can move just thinking about moving.
And you can astral project just thinking about astral projecting. Like, this is going to go so far beyond our normal sensory perception reality bullshit. Like, if we're really able to like tap into like the potential of the human brain, like what we see here is like a fraction of what is going on in there, So like if all of a sudden the brain starts to communicate to itself in ways that it's not used to doing, like it's going to be, I think it's going to manifest insane, super, super profound experiences for a lot of people.
I mean, I don't know you guys, but when you started to play in VR, what kind of dreams did you have at the beginning? Like, I remember that I had very, very weird dreams. about being in VR, but then I was waking up, but then I was still in VR. With like there was the coolest dreams I ever had in
It's
my
like
life.
Inception, dude. It's
Yeah,
like fucking Inception.
and Heather, like same thing. When she started, she had the same dreams and stuff. Did you guys have the same experience?
I don't know.
You know,
No?
I never remember my dreams. So that's, you know, but I will tell you that that everything just seemed different to me after VR. You know what I mean? Like, you know, especially at first, when I first used to go into VR and I'd come out, you know, after a long play session. I've always been the guy that was in there for multiple hours, you know, and then I'd come out and be like, oh my God, nothing seems real out here. You know?
You know, I don't know if this is related, but when I got my Nintendo 3DS and I was playing A Link Between Worlds, I did not stop playing that game for like 2 days straight. All I did was play my 3DS and stared at that thing with the 3D effect. And then when I went to go play a different game on my flat screen computer, the images on my fucking flat screen monitor were appearing to me in 3D. I shit you not. Like my eyes had like made an adjustment and there was depth in all of the images that I was seeing after using my 3DS for like 2 days straight with the 3D setting on. So
I suggest to go to the doctor.
yeah. Dude, I was freaking out. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God, I can't believe this. And it sounds like bullshit, but it was true. So I really do feel like this is going to have a very profound impact, you know, in the way that we experience stuff. It'll probably start to affect stuff like dreams first and then slowly seep into the normal reality. And then shit's going to get blown off the hinges.
Rendered Reality in chat says the dreams were insane because he was playing Half-Life Alyx. I actually had a ton of dreams the week Half-Life Alyx came out. I played it a ton, and dreaming was like crazy. So yeah, I can definitely see how that would work. Yeah, it's bananas. And to your point, Alex, it is going to change a lot more than gaming, right? They're already using, you know, brain interfacing to help people with seizures. So when, you know, because at first it's just reading, right? You're reading the things, you know, all right, I want to move my legs. It's reading that. But they're trying to get to the point where they can write to the brain as well. And that's a very important piece. It's also a very scary piece, right? Or you can make changes in people's brains. You know, how, you know, it'd be interesting to see how much we really know about what we're doing and what happens. But no, I think it's super important, right? It's going to start by fixing, I think, a lot of things. You know, we'll be able to use it to help people get through different disorders and, you know, just all kinds of different medical problems. Who knows? Maybe it'll be, you know, Parkinson's or MS stuff that they can do. I don't know, but really, really smart people are working on this stuff right now. Gabe Newell and his son are working on this. You know, he's not out there working on Half-Life Alyx. He's in the back working on brain interfacing. Now, this stuff is coming down the pipeline fast. And, you know, we talked about before how he said it's a lot closer than everyone thinks. So.
Well, the thing that really excites me, and one of the first manifestations of it that I think we're going to see is like brain interfacing when it comes to immersive storytelling. Because in like when I was talking to the guy from that company that does the brain scan thing, Lucid Labs. When I was talking to the guy from Lucid Labs, I was like, hey, so like, how can brain interfacing, like, where does it come into play if I'm like watching a movie, you know, or like just like consuming media? And basically what he was saying is that like, if you haven't brain interfacing going while you're experiencing something like a movie, it can like tell your level of engagement and it can like know what you need in order to like have a good time watching that shit. So like, if all of a sudden you start getting bored, the movie's gonna know. Advertisement,
yeah,
right? That's true. That's a scary part of it. But the more fun part would be like, I'm watching this movie, I'm like, man, like when are these chicks gonna get naked? And then they all get naked, you know, or whatever it is that like you're thinking of and desiring.
Pervert.
Hey, you know, I'm speaking for all of us out there, okay? And ladies, whoever it is you want to see naked, you can do it once brain interfacing comes along, you know? Or if it's like, man, this is boring. Like, will somebody just like somebody blow something up, the building across the street blows up. You know? So it's like, it'll be like in tune with your desires and in tune with whatever it is that you're trying to experience, which is mind blowing because if it can tell what it is that you want, then that's where stuff starts getting super crazy, because then these AIs will start to know us better than
That'll
we know
happen
ourselves.
really fast. So, I think that's going to happen before brain interfacing. They're pumping so much data through AI right now. And it already, I think there's a lot of programs out there that already know us a lot better than we think, is really happening right now. The race to AI is a huge thing. And brain interfacing is a big part of it because, as Elon Musk says, he wants to be able to supplement us with AI, and brain interfacing is a big part of that. They already have technology where they can stick wires into your brain, and this is just the first generation. Everything will eventually be wireless, just like the Facebook thing, on your wrist, and the stuff there that we have, with Lucid Labs, how it goes on, the little sensors that touch your forehead. But yeah, man, this is all next level shit. And I feel like it's not just going to change gaming. It's going to change humanity in all different kinds of ways. And really excited to see where this goes. So.
Yeah, I'm also a little scared to see where it goes, because like at a certain point, we're going to get to the point where when it's too much, I for sure don't want a cable in my brain. I'm 100% sure about it.
I'm not 100%. I might let him do it.
I filter it as much as you want, but there's a limit. And for me, like, humanity is my limit. I want to keep that. That's why I love the idea like of a CTR lab, because it's not invasive, The moment when you stick a cable in my brain, I can get a little scary. I mean, like, I watched like The Matrix 3 days ago again, and it's scary.
Yeah,
dude, I'd be the first one in there because that's just the type of person I am. My thing is like I want to hack myself. Like that's the ultimate thing you could do. I think would be to hack a person, and that's it's gonna make it. It's gonna get weird, man. Shit's gonna get weird, right? Someone's gonna be out there selling antivirus for people. Because shit's gonna get weird.
Your thoughts
I
get
mean,
hijacked?
Do you remember, like, there was the period when Bioshock came out. It came out because it was the period where we found out that we could, like, actually see the DNA in a different way, like work on the DNA. And so, like, all people started to go crazy with the mind. And Bioshock was like the reflection of like what people were thinking in that period about it. And I don't know if you ever played Bioshock, but the environment is awesome. This place where people can like change their DNA to become like similar to like, like more animals on some stuff. They can change their eyes. They can change like their fireballs, because like I know, crazy, but it's a video game. But I feel like it's the same thing right now. We're going back to a little like the idea of Matrix. And it's kind of funny that they're working on the new Matrix right now.
That is fun. Mepper in the chat says you don't want brain interface version 1.0 because version 2.0 and 3.0 won't be compatible.
Backward compatibility on brains.
Imagine signing up your brain for like the first iPod, like that would suck to be stuck on an iPod version 1, 10 years later. So fucking awesome. Yeah.
This is true.
Reality said they're going to let you go first.
Yeah,
Skiba.
I'll do it, man. I'll do it. But here's the thing. It can't, like, I need complete access to like the firewall in and out. You know what I mean? Like, government's not coming in, work's not coming in. There's a lot of stuff not coming in, but like, I need control of all that. I want to be able to go in. I want to be able to write code to my brain. I really do. And I know, like, I feel like it's a little bit like, Frankenstein-ish type of, or those movies where they, the mad scientists experiment on themselves. But I guess I'm kind of sick like that, man. I'm like the ultimate VR immersion junkie, You're
going to be like the Fly
Right.
virtual reality. Like, you're going to like be like half headset, like half Oculus Touch controller. Help me.
I'll be Job from Lawnmower Man. Yeah.
Yes,
We,
Yeah.
that's
we'll
it.
let
Yeah.
you
I'm
go.
in. I'm in it to win it, man. Have you guys, speaking of new hardware and new software, have you guys played with the Oculus Quest version 15 update yet?
Yeah,
Not me.
yeah, yeah. I got it not so long
Yeah.
ago. It took
Yeah.
longer than usual this time to arrive to the headsets. I think it's pretty awesome. I really like the new interface. I love the fact that you can tap 2 times and you get to pass through, because it was something that was missing before. I don't really care about voice commands, to be honest. But if you're interested in that, they're there. And the UI, it's pretty cool. It's faster. You can change games faster when you are inside a game without going back to the home every time. But it's a little too small for some people, you know? Like for me, like I'm totally fine. If you don't have a perfect vision, it kind of sucks. Because it's very small. They should like put something to
Yeah.
actually have
Yeah,
like
like a zoom.
150% scaling of the text, and I I want multi-profile
Yeah, that should have been the
selection,
first thing.
because
That should have been the first thing.
yeah, it's crazy that we don't have it yet. I'm saying it every time that I talk about these new Quest updates. Like we need it, like,
Yeah.
now more than ever. Like there are more people home that are using the same stuff. Like I want to have my save points and not having the same. Like I don't want to race to delete my game because somebody else is playing it at the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
time.
It's not a $20 thing. It's it's expensive. Not, and people don't want to buy 5 of them for everyone in their house. So
Exactly. It's like a console, and it should be considered like a console. What do you guys think, though, about the new browser? Because I feel like it's a good idea, but I don't know if I find that much use
I
to
know I
it.
definitely don't with the browser part, because I don't really use the Oculus browser very much. A little bit here and there, but I tend to go, if I'm going to web browse, I'm going to use Mozilla's web browser in there, just because I don't. I got nothing to hide, but I don't want Facebook recording all my shit all the time, So yeah, I'll use another web browser. So that part doesn't even really matter to me, And like you said, voice commands don't really matter at this point. It'll be nice when, someday you can be like, hey, turn on this game. But you got to be so weird and talk so unnatural, and we're not quite there yet. Some of the features are really cool. I like how the UI looks. I don't, however, like how they changed where it said the percentage of the battery. Now it's 3 dots, and you got to hover your little virtual mouse cursor, over your headset now to see the exact percentage. Because I mean, that's the worst thing for me about the Quest is I run that thing's battery out multiple times a day. So but I do also really like the tap thing. We tap twice and the real world comes through. I do feel, though, it would have been better to make it if you double tap one of the buttons on the controller to have it pass through. I'll go to adjust my headset or something,
Absolutely.
and then the real world comes through, or I'll put it up on my forehead real quick, and when I come back, there's just the pass through, and I'm like, oh, do I have to set a boundary? But there's no boundary thing, and sometimes it just gets a little confusing. You don't know when the pass through exactly is on and when it isn't. So I feel like double clicking, like especially the left system button, would have been a great way to do pass through. But yeah,
Absolutely. I agree. Also because like in games like Stormland, for example,
Yes.
like you have to tap or to do some stuff. You have to tap
even
like
think
on
about
the
that,
headset.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and it's weird that they use that because it's their games, like they're also in Eco Arena. I feel like you have the same thing, something like that. To do to do the emoji, you have to touch your head. And I don't know how it's going to interact with that when you use Link.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to get pass
I'm gonna have to
through
try
using
that.
Link when instead we want
Yeah,
to
maybe I'll try that tonight. That's a really good
Um,
point, because there are games where you have to tap on the headset to turn on some kind of visor or something. So how is that going to work? Hopefully they made it so the game can override the system default and the game part will win, but
Hopefully,
I mean,
yeah.
does the Quest operate like a Quest once you have it plugged in with Link, or like would that feature just get disabled? I feel like they would just turn that off if you were plugged in with the Link. Starts behaving
good
like
question.
a regular,
But I will have
like a regular PC
I will have
or
answers
headset.
for next week for sure, because I'm definitely going to check that out. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, and then so and Alex, you said you haven't gotten that update yet, right?
I maybe have. I don't know. I haven't used my fucking Quest since I got my HTC Vive, dude.
Right.
With the Vive Pro. Like, I've been on PC VR, and like anytime I'm playing VR, I'm putting that bad boy on. Like, it's just so much more comfortable. It looks great. Now I have the index controllers, so I get to use those. Like, I have not found a reason to play my Quest in a minute, except to play 11 table tennis with my dad when he hits me up. I'll like run downstairs
11
and
table tennis. Just,
break 'em
I
out.
just really want to say that I really love that game. They did a phenomenal job with all the physics. You can just go in and just start volleying back and forth with your own avatar. And to me, that right there is worth the price of admission. Like, I've always wanted a ping pong table where it would hit back. And now I have one, so it's really great. It's a great game.
Alex, do you
Yes,
want to?
sir.
Are you gonna take a suggestion from a friend?
Of course.
Okay, you have the Vive Pro. Okay,
Yes.
get the Gear VR and swap the lenses. You never gonna go back.
Are you shitting me?
No, it's totally another level. It's another headset. It's like
The
10
Gear.
times, the Gear VR, because with HTC you use Fresnel lenses they have their limitations, and with the Vive Pro you still have the first generation of the original Vive that are not that good. Like, clarity on the size is not super good. The Gear VR lenses are pancake lenses, or like the old generation for example, like the DK1 was using, and it's super clear. So like you don't have any God rays are gone, distortions, like you have to change some profiles, but then all distortions are gone completely. You have the same clarity from the very edges of the vision to the center of the vision. You don't go back. Trust me.
This is Tyriel Wood, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking VR tech extraordinaire. That is an insane thing. I could not even imagine doing something like that. Like that, I mean, I will do it now, but I would have never in a million years been able to come to a conclusion that if I put Gear VR lenses into my Vive Pro, that
Right?
it
Isn't
will
that
make
crazy?
everything look better. But I have
Why
seen
aren't they using those lenses all the time?
Because
Yeah.
it's HTC.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
I have this. Hold on. I'm gonna destroy everything. Oh shit! The Lenovo was falling.
So
So I can show you the lenses. I didn't do it yet. I want to swap it from the original Vive to the Vive Pro. But these are the lenses.
nice. So you put them on your original
You
Vive.
see?
Nice.
Yeah, I put it on the original Vive. Like, I'm not using the Vive Pro from pretty long right now. But look at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a 3D printed part that you put on there. And but you can notice how clear they are. There's no lines and stuff.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yep. There are definitely lines on the Vive Pro lenses.
Have you ever tried a PSVR?
Yes.
Okay, so you like the clarity of PSVR, beside the fact that the screen is crap because
And the resolution's garbage,
exactly.
yeah.
but it's super clear, right?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine that with the resolution of the Vive Pro.
Wow. Do you have a video on your channel about this?
You can, not with the Vive Pro, but with the original Vive, when I do through the lenses, you can see the difference. And it's crazy because if you look at those, the original Vive still looks amazing. And the only problem you have is you see more the screen door effect.
Yeah.
Because of course, exactly, everything is super clear. So you see more the screen door effect. And when the original Vive is massive, in the Vive Pro, you have much higher resolution, so it's not that bad, and it makes it another headset completely.
Wow.
I always use when I had the Vive Pro, I was using the original Vive with these lenses because I prefer
Wow, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Dang.
So And I need to change that. You know, when you say like, I'm gonna make a video about it, and then you never make a video about it, and that's
Right.
why I didn't do it. Yeah, but I wanna do it because so I'm gonna start again to use the Vive Pro. It's like a totally another world.
Wow, dude. Hey, what's up, Mateo? Thanks for Mateo said ciao, and I'm like, all right, bye. And he's like, ciao also means hello. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh.
ciao is
All right, hi.
from Matteo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a gear,
Well, this
dude.
is actually
So
really
you know,
exciting.
maybe you can take the lenses out of it if you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
let's
mean,
go.
yeah.
Dude, hey, you're in now at this point you're roped in, Ty. I'm gonna be hitting you up. I'll be like, all right, tell me what to do. Step one. I'm gonna need you to
No.
hold my hand.
Man is awesome. Like, trust me, it's like you're never gonna want even the index. At that
Wow,
point.
really?
Really
That's a
excited.
bold statement.
So happy that you made that recommendation.
I can definitely
Super
see that because the Vive has such glare issues, you know, and I mean not the Vive, the Index has so many glare issues, you know, and it really I'm always going, oh, I think I need to clean my lenses, you know, and then I clean them and I'm like, oh no, that's just the glare, you know, so that's kind of a bummer. But it'd be great if you could do that with the Index as well, right? It'd be amazing.
Yeah, is this a thing? Like, do people often just like try different lenses on different headsets, or like, is this like the only version of this that exists?
Just on Vive and Vive Pro and Cosmos as well.
Mm.
And the Cosmos as well got so much better with those lenses. It's like it's probably the best visual headset you can have.
Wow.
Because you have the highest resolution RGB pixel arrangement, so there's less screen door effect than ever, and then you have more clarity, even more with the regular lenses, and it's totally another thing.
Wow.
Have you tried the Pimax 8KX?
Oh, that one.
This one.
Oh yeah, there it is. So what do you think of that one?
I have a love and hate relationship with Pimax because I love the idea. I love the fact that they keep doing this headset with like super high resolution, like super wide FOV. I just don't know why sometimes like my right eye hurts playing it after a while. It's not that I have anything against them. It's like I need a break more than usual with that headset and others. But the clarity is amazing, and
do you have a normal IPD,
yeah,
or is it a wider IPD?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
66.4.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm really like the kind of a perfection IPD. Like even like I never had a problem with the Oculus Go with the Rift S that I don't have it, and that don't have the IPD adjustment. For some reason with the Pimax, my right eye hurts. I'm trying everything, but with this, I have to tell you, having the new here. Face cushion, as you can see, is much larger than the one that they had before. This is super comfortable. It's like crazy comfortable, probably the most comfortable headset that you can have right now.
That face cushion is extremely nice. It's like one of those like memory foam pillow mattress things. Like super good.
It's super awesome, and it keeps you also a little further away from the lenses, so you don't get that usual distortion that you have with the Pimax. I'm using it from around a week. I'm gonna make a video about it soon. But so far I'm super impressed. Like I love it.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, we got to try it at CES and it really blew my mind. We played Hell Split Arena in it and it just looked gorgeous. Looked so good. You know, it's a little bit of a trade-off, right, with frames. Which is kind of a bummer. I think that game was running at about 75 frames a second. You know, and one of the great things about the Index is, you know, the 120 hertz to the 144 hertz really brings you in with a sense of presence that isn't there with a lower frame rate. But at the same time, a higher FOV gives you a sense of presence that you don't have, you know, with a higher frame rate headset. So it's definitely a trade-off.
Right.
And, you know, I'd love to play around a little bit more with the AKX. Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Just to answer to Matteo a second on the chat, as Mapper said, there is a profile that you can download. You have to change some code in the Steam VR, like lighthouses. So changing that part, then you get the correction of this distortion. If you just swap them, you have some distortion. You just have to correct the thing by software, and you're totally
And this
fine.
is with the lens swap
I can't
on the
wait.
Vive Pro. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, because if you don't correct it by software, you're gonna have some barrel effect. So like, like when the word shifts a little, and but you can correct it. So it's totally worth it. Like really, you're never gonna go back after trying them.
That's pretty cool.
I can't wait. So, Skiva, whenever it is that you cruise by my crib to pick up these Dexmo gloves, which, by the way, I guess are going to Ty next. Did you know that I had these things?
They told me. They told me. They
It's
told
so
me
good. She's like, "Oh, yeah, they're-"
call Alex and tell her to send it over. So like, Alex, I don't want to say Alex, I send it over.
It's so good. It's so good. When she said that you were going to be the next one, I was like, oh, well, let me just take my time then. No, but Skeeva wants to have the opportunity to mess around with
just
them.
for
So
like
he's
a
going to come
day
pick them up
or
from me
whatever.
this week.
Yeah.
So when you do bring that gear over, and maybe you can even help me, and we can like do some surgery on that thing, pop out those lenses, put the new ones in. You can take home the gloves, play around with them for a day, and then we'll get them boxed up and we'll send them off to Tyriel Wood so
Yeah.
he can actually get those gloves
For
some
sure.
exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
Little suggestion: when you swap them, I mean, do you guys have a 3D
No.
printer, right?
But we do have places.
No, because you need a
Yeah.
3D printer part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a piece. But when you swap them, doing it with the shower on super hot, so you have a lot of steam, and so the dust doesn't get in.
Yeah, that would be crazy if
Really?
there was dust stuck behind the lenses. That would be terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little trick.
But wouldn't moisture get behind there?
No, because like you everything's super humid, so like the dust is gonna go down because the humidity is heavier, and so you're gonna have a spot where there's no dust around. That's what you want. Of course, you don't have to do it in the water. You're not under the. You're not under the.
Put it in the shower. Am I doing that right?
That's the best way to put on phone screen protectors too. So yeah, that's a very, very good tip.
Wow. I do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have
Real
to do
quick,
that.
did you guys hear that
so-
that Iron Man is indefinitely delayed? Iron Man VR.
Yes.
I just wanted to throw this in here real quick because that's a bummer, right? I was really looking forward to some new good PlayStation VR content, and I'm dying to see how they pull off the 360 with a system that can't do 360 like the PlayStation VR, you know. So I really wanted to see this, and it did get delayed until further notice, along with The Last of Us 2. Because of the the virus. So that is too bad. I just wanted to kind of let people know. But
I don't believe that. I don't think that.
Yeah,
it's for the
you don't think
virus,
so?
Yeah, you're like, no, they weren't ready.
No, they were ready. Like the dev said that The Last of Us is ready. They just don't. I just feel like they need a bigger lineup for the PS5, and they are keeping everything there.
yeah.
You know, it's marketing. Like PS5 is gonna arrive at the end of the year, and they want a strong lineup to start. And so they started to move things around. And I feel like, you waited so long for The Last of Us 2 that you can wait a little longer. Let's put also a VR game so we have something nice. And let's move also Iron Man VR because there's a lot of buzz around it. So I don't know. I see it like a smart move, but I feel like they use the virus in a little weird way, you know. If it's for the virus, you say it's gonna arrive in fall. No, they said we don't know when it's gonna arrive.
Yeah.
That means
it's possible
that
maybe they
there's
would have put it out, right? But they probably saw this, like you said, as a great opportunity to move it to a better situation, right? To have another launch game for the PS5 and the PSVR 2 maybe, but.
Also, come on, like everyone is at home. If you want to launch a game, you're gonna launch it now because everyone is gonna play it.
True.
You know,
But
people don't have
at the
anything
same
to
time,
do.
though, I
and
feel like there's a lot of people that aren't paying attention to the things they used to pay attention to. So if you, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, like even on YouTube, right? Some of the shows I normally watch aren't doing as good because people are so obsessed with this virus and their fear, you know, that they're not like that. They're watching like the news channels 24 hours a day. You know, and I think that is affecting a lot of things and a lot of sales. And are you? But it's real. I really do think it's affecting a lot of things and a lot of sales and things that people would normally be looking at. They're not anymore. So yeah, I think it's definitely it's probably it just worked out to be a better situation for them. You know.
Well, you know, I never even considered that perspective, Ty, but now that you've mentioned it, like I am thinking about like when I started playing a God of War, which I didn't finish, sadly, but I started playing it. I know. When I started playing God of War, it like it basically it makes my fucking PS4 sound like it's a jet engine taking off. You know, it's just like like the fans turn on and the thing just like kicks into fucking hyperdrive, you know? But anybody who owns a PS4 is going to own a PS5. That's the way it's going to happen. The PS5 is going to come out. Shitloads of people are going to buy it. And wouldn't you rather play that super, super highly anticipated game on a machine that can actually handle it as opposed to some machine that has to like break its own dick to like perform? You know what I mean? So like I can totally see that now. Like it makes sense because I would rather play it on something that would do a really good job, you know, like I can wait.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially since there's so much good content out for the PC right now. You know, it's just a little bit of a bummer for the PSVR owners. You know, they do have Paper Beasts, which I don't have a video for right now, but I hear that's incredible. Everyone's been ranting and raving about it.
Yeah, so, everyone says it's good.
So let's play. You guys play that.
Do you have PSVR? Ty?
I do, but not from very long. I got it Black Friday. I opened it last month, and I didn't go even through one game. So I'm not the great. I want to make a video about it soon because I think that is a great way to get in VR. Even if it's like it's late, 2020 is still a good year to get in VR with PSVR. And so I wanted to show it because I put my money on it. You know, like I paid for it. I also bought a PS4 Pro for it because I didn't have it. I'm an Xbox guy. You can tell from my Master Chief over there.
Nice.
But I mean, I'm not for console war at all. I don't care if there's a good game. Let's play it. But I feel like PSVR is awesome, like still right now, but I don't have Paper Beasts. I don't know if I will like it, to be honest. It doesn't attract me that much, but I'm hearing good things from people because it's very like relaxed and stuff. Like it's very like, you know, more an environment where you're in that part of immersion, and every person has a game for, you know, favorite game. So.
What did you get the PSVR for then? Did you want to play like Astrobot or like Resident Evil or what?
I want to have it for when the PS5 is going to come out. I want to be able to see the difference between PSVR and PSVR on PS5 because we know that it's going to be available, and the PSVR 2 is going to be available later, probably in another year. So it's still a good thing to buy it now because you can have it for a year and a half, and this price is very, very low. So I like to know what I'm talking about when I talk about something, and
that's
you know,
good.
and I don't want to be like the guy that talks about PSVR 2 so much better than PSVR when it never played PSVR. Like I want to have my own experience, and I want to explore it, and I think it's a great thing.
Play Astrobot. I feel like that's a great PSVR experience. Sure. It's like it doesn't ask the PSVR to do anything that it's not comfortable doing. You just sit down, you pick up a controller, and you jam through it, and it's awesome.
Yep.
Or Quill, but I played in PC VR, but that's another amazing game.
Which
Sorry,
one?
Moss.
Oh,
Moss.
Moss.
Cool's the name of the Moss. Yeah.
Said the name of the
guy.
character.
And Firewall Zero Hour is still the one VR experience that has taken more of my time than anything. I played fucking Firewall Zero Hour every day for like a year straight. Like I was hooked to that shit.
The game is awesome, and
It's
if you have
really
the aim controller, well, another example of what we were saying before. If you have an aim controller, it's like perfection.
It is. Yep, it is. Just blind firing around corners and stuff with that thing, man. So fun. Yeah, Firewall's great. If you're a PSVR owner and you haven't played it, you have no excuse because it was free a couple of months ago. Like, it's get an aim controller and play it.
All right on.
So giveaway, we had a giveaway and we have a winner for
we
it,
did.
right?
We had a giveaway, and it was one. Where is that giveaway? I think I did I not put it on here? I guess I didn't put it on here. That's a bummer. Michael Hurt?
Nah.
Is it Michael Hurt? Wait a second. Let's see. Yeah, he's a.
We did
that
Mike
was
Hurt
Michael.
last
That's right. That's right. So yeah, the person won Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is a great game. Here it is. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, Michael Hurt. No. Shoot, did I screw up?
Yeah, maybe or maybe not. Somebody won something.
Sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah, we're giving away stuff every single week. We got a whole bunch of games in there. We have all kinds of T-shirts with different VR games. We got controller grips and skins, and there's some like a VR headset stand. I'm gonna throw in there right after this that you can pick as a prize.
Oh yeah, the AMVR magnetic charging.
Quest. Yeah. It's really nice. It's a really nice stand. Yeah, for sure. So we'll throw that in there. But there's a lot of good stuff that you can win by hitting the Gleam giveaway in the description. And go ahead and enter up to like 7 times. I think we have 7 or 8 times. So yeah, it's who doesn't love free stuff, right? Especially virtual reality stuff. Yeah,
I will do it.
But from there, man, I think we should wrap up. Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome show. I've had a really, really, really good time talking to you, Tyriel. It's been fucking awesome, man.
It was awesome to talk with you guys. I loved it.
Yeah,
Thank you
dude.
so much for having me, really.
You're the homie, man. I keep our experiences at OC6 close and dear to my heart. It was one of my first going out into the VR community experiences, and I'm so glad that we've managed to link back up and do this and catch up and fucking chat and have a good time, man.
Anytime, guys. Anytime, really. Thank you so much for having me. From the bottom of my mouth.
So if anybody's interested in getting in touch with you, Ty, what's the best way to do it?
Well, I have a YouTube channel. It's Tyriel Wood, like youtube.com/Tyriel Wood. There we talk about VR tech and all different guides and stuff. Pretty much everything interesting about VR. In a way, like I like to go deep in details. So usually when you see news also from the usual websites, they pretty summarize the stuff. I go very deep because I like to know what I'm talking about. Reviews about headsets. I try to cover everything VR possible. But if you want gameplay, I'm not that guy. That's it. You will see gameplay because I'm showing some interesting stuff, technical stuff. But yeah, it's like discovering VR tech, discovering what is going to get in the future, where we are going, where we are at, and how awesome this technology is. It's the most awesome technology. Come on, guys. 10 years ago, we had phones that were changing and becoming super cool. Now phones are all the same. And VR is evolving so fast. It's crazy that we went from DK1 to
this. Right.
Valve Index in not even 6 years.
Right.
It is mind blowing, and that's it.
That's it.
You want to be part of it. It's
I wouldn't buy anything VR without checking out Tyriel's channel first. If you're going to purchase something, he will have everything you need to know about that device and to help you make a smart decision. So definitely check out his stuff.
Yeah.
His everything is in the description. You can head over to his YouTube channel. You can get him on Twitter, and yeah.
You know what else you can do is you can like this video. You can subscribe to this fucking channel.
Right.
You can subscribe to Ty's channel. You can hit us up on Twitter and engage us there. You can enter our Gleam giveaway right now and get yourself something for free as a result of your beautiful time that you've invested here with us tonight. And you can have yourselves a wonderful evening. And you can wait until a week from tonight when we have episode 10 of Between Realities. And do we know who our guest is next
just
week?
like last week, I did not. I
like. It's okay having like the shroud of mystery around it. You know?
If you follow us on Twitter, we always put who the guest is going to be, and we have so many cool people on, man. It's so much fun. I don't think there isn't.
Dude, I'm so thankful that we've had such awesome people join us on this podcast, man. Like the conversations that we've had here have been so good. And if you missed any episodes, it seriously wouldn't hurt you to go back and watch them, because the conversations and the perspectives that these people bring are always just like awesome. You know, like people who are in the VR community who know what they're talking about, and who have been so nice and graced us with their presence on the show. So I guess that's going to do it. So thanks again, Ty. You are the real deal, man. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you soon. Skiva, you're the man. Thanks as always for pushing the buttons and controlling everything. And to all you guys in the chat, thank you for being a part of this. We will see you in a week.
Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Adios.
Bye. Ciao.